is Sapphire Gamer, and today we are doing Yelan's outfit quest. So we're going.
Wait, the person drinking tea over there. Isn't that Yelan? Oh, looks like she's having some kind of tea party with friends. We're just in time.
There are eyes on this place, and not the friendly kind either.
Aren't we gonna go say hi?
Well, Officer Edler, after all that work, I think we've got them this time. Might take a few days to wrap up things in the field. In the meantime, I think you've earned yourself a break.
Much appreciated, Miss Yelan. This case really took it out of me. 13 strongholds. One thieving weasel after another. We rounded up so many people, you almost start to hope a few were innocent, just to balance it out. I'm just glad we finally took down these crooks. Anyway, I'm gonna drop in on that old classmate of mine in Chaoying Village and reminisce about old times.
Don't forget to take some tea and dim sum back to your friends at the Maison Gardiennage.
Oh, looks like Yelan's friend left. Paimon kinda wanted to meet her.
I feel bad about those two onlookers.
Ah, another pleasant surprise. Traveler, Paimon, take a seat. Excuse me, a pot of your finest Yunlai white tea if you would. And 2 more place settings. Now, judging by that expression, I assume you came over to ask about the 2 spies that were just watching us.
Ah! Spies? What spies? There were spies around here just now?
The two of them were definitely up to no good.
Oh, more than that, I'm sure. I bet they already sent someone to tail Officer Edler. Anything to foil our operation.
Oh, so you're tracking down some criminals? They've got some nerve spying on you like that. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon.
Well, those tend to be the kinds of cases that cross my desk. If I could leave it to someone else, I would. I could have been on vacation right now.
Sounds like quite the criminal syndicate. What's their crime?
Mora laundering. To the tune of 10 figures and counting.
Laundry? What does that have to do with Mora? And who are these figures? There are 10 of them?
In layman's terms, a certain merchant in Fontaine possesses a large amount of Mora obtained through illicit means. But it's easy to get caught when you're moving that kind of cash. So you cover your tracks, create a front to avoid detection, and what do you know? Your illegal Mora now looks completely legit. And this merchant's front of choice? Fine art and antique auctioneering. He buys goods from all over Tevat, brings them back to Fontaine, and rebrands them as pieces of fine art, driving up their price in the process. Then, when the items go to auction, he buys them up at their inflated price with his own illicit funds. And through this exchange, the proceeds he receives in return are clean.
How are we dealing with a giant monster? Stacking macaroni. All different sizes. What's yummy? See what? They won't get her back. Those cold. If only cobras can go rise. Hey, Your Majesties. You should know what I have. Great tea. Miss the Ice King. That's him.
Mora laundering, to the tune of 10 figures and counting.
Laundry? What does that have to do with Mora? And who are these figures? There are 10 of them?
In layman's terms, a certain merchant in Fontaine possesses a large amount of Mora obtained through illicit means. But it's easy to get caught when you're moving that kind of cash. So you cover your tracks, create a front to avoid detection, and what do you know? Your illegal Mora now looks completely legit.
Side of it is clogging out. Mister, the ice. The ice king snowstorm. I think Snowstorm wants to give you something. Boogie shoes? Hey, Boogie. He does look. Yes. Whoa! Whoa! Pearl necklace. My necklace! Mermaid! We got a mermaid. I get it. Mermaid wants to live. You should ride on something that's cool. How about?
And this merchant's front of choice? Fine art and antique auctioneering. He buys goods from all over Tevat, brings them back to Fontaine, and rebrands them as pieces of fine art, driving up their price in the process. Then, when the items go to auction, he buys them up at their inflated price with his own illicit funds. And through this exchange, the proceeds he receives in return are clean.
Well, wait, so you were just pretending? And to think, Paimon thought all that stuff about wrapping up the case and taking a break was actually true.
Right you are, Traveler. Working with the Millilith and Officer Edler, we managed to launch attacks on all of the Dark Financier's strongholds, which allowed us to nab most of his crew. Those spies just now were his most important agents, the two people he trusts to have direct contact with him. The first is Corday, a senior member of the Fontaine Antique Association, in charge of auctioning off the goods. And the other is Dodamani, a ship owner from Sumeru and longtime cargo transporter. They're under pressure to salvage the situation, so we let them slip through the cracks on purpose. The goal is to make them think that, by some stroke of luck, they're in the clear and have room to act. They think keeping tabs on Officer Edler will allow them to operate under her radar and get whatever remains of their goods out of Liyue. But little do they know, while their attention's fixed on her, I'll be secretly gathering the intel that's gonna bring them crashing down. So, interested in coming along for the ride? I'm curious how you take to this line of work. Could be some potential there.
Taking down a criminal syndicate? I'm in.
Yeah, we kind of stumbled into this whole thing, but now we're a part of it too. Let's do it! For Yelan, for the people of Chenyavale, and for, the Liyue business world!
I admire your selflessness, Traveler in Paimon. Let me be the one to look out for your self-interests then. Namely, your payment. How about we do this the Fontainian way? You'll get exactly what a top agent receives for a dangerous field mission. Getting started is always the hardest part, but luckily, I have a lead. The Dark Financier's crew is even more on guard than usual, so our best bet is to do some counter-surveillance to get on the right track. And I think I know just the place to start. Let's head northeast and see if I'm right.
Interesting. Let's go investigate.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same.
Okay, so if we head there, if we go there, okay. Okay, that was a quick shortcut. So we'll just head to this path and head to the area.
Yep.
All right, let's start our investigation here.
You follow Yelan through the uninhabited region in the northeast of Chenyu Vale. With Yelan's help, you'll find a covered location from which to scout the beach. You don't see any members of the Dark Financier's crew, nor anything else suspicious about the area.
So, we can all agree this is just a normal stretch of wilderness, right? Paimon doesn't see any bad guys to nab around here.
Have some patience, Paimon.
Well, it didn't take long for you to understand our role here, Traveler. Thinking like a top agent already. Impressive. Like I said, we need to start small. If we want to track down the man himself, our best bet is to start with his goods. So right now, finding his stock is our #1 priority. And to do that, locating his hidden stronghold is imperative. Which brings us to why we're here. Pretty good vantage point from up here, don't you think?
Huh, guess so. Paimon can see the port of Yelan Wharf, the boats in the distance, and some kind of tower. What's that for?
It's a lighthouse. The Millilith use it to monitor the situation at sea. In addition, the flashing of the light can also serve as a means of communication.
I think I understand what makes this place so important.
Oh, let's hear it.
Spying on the Millilith helps with their operation.
Not too far off at all, Traveler. The Millilith maintain an impeccable level of security in Chenyu Vale through consistent patrolling. This location offers a perfect vantage point to observe their lighthouse signals and deduce their patterns of behavior, which is a huge help if you need to move goods under the radar. So we should be able to find traces of the Dark Financier's scouts in this area.
Oh, okay. Paimon doesn't quite follow, but she'll take your word for it.
It's simple. Just take this forensic imaging device and investigate the surrounding area. As long as we're meticulous, I'm positive we'll find something.
let's try it out.
Well,
I'm ready
remember,
to
an eye
investigate.
for detail is key. Clues are often hidden in plain sight.
Ooh. Okay, so our key objectives are Doda money and quarter.
Ugh, it's pouring out here. Oh, wait, the water levels aren't rising, are they?
Wait, was that hole there before? Ooh, good. What's with this boat? Hmm. Wait. Ooh. Odd position of a boat. Yep.
Some good finds. Whatever door this key opens could be critical to the investigation. And this carrier pigeon tube contains several coded messages.
Ooh.
Huh. So there really is evidence around here. It's like these guys aren't even afraid of getting caught. What if the Millilith noticed them spying and decided to investigate?
These objects suggest the Dark Financier scouts were likely disguised as fishermen. People like that are trained not to crack under pressure. All they'd need to do is come up with a believable excuse, like needing a place to rest. The Millilith can't investigate or apprehend a civilian without probable cause.
Paimon can just see their smug faces getting away with something like that.
Good news. The good news is we managed to find evidence here.
Not to mention, the traces on these objects are fresh, which means the scout here is still active, and wasn't among those caught by Officer Edler. So we need to stay vigilant. We can't let them know we're still on their tail.
Yelan takes out an elaborate set of tools and creates exact replicas of the key and code the message found at the scene. She then restores the scene to its original state, erasing any signs that an investigation has taken place.
I had a hunch this area was being used as a lookout, and I was right. But that still leaves the question of where the goods are hidden. Any ideas?
Nope, not really. But they're definitely transmitting messages.
Spot on again, Traveler. Looks like you don't need anyone to hold your hand when it comes to deductive reasoning. Given a carrier pigeon's speed, the two locations should be close enough to deliver messages quickly. That means the base we're looking for should be within a certain radius. Ruling out areas within line of sight of the lighthouse, as well as places with a lot of foot traffic.
That just leaves the shallows to the north of Mount Mingyuan?
That certainly sounds plausible. You have the cover of the mountains, and the advantage of hiding right under the authorities' noses. Well, our next destination is decided then. Let's go.
Head to the next area, which is way over there. We'll just teleport our way through and... Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Oh, there's the waterfalls of Fontaine. Whoa.
The sun feels almost as hot as those studio lights I'm in front of all the time. Good thing there can only be one sun. And nothing out of the ordinary here, either.
If we've learned anything from the last place...
That's right. No detail is too small to investigate. I believe in you. The evidence could be even more well hidden. All right. I know you have an eye for detail, so use it to your advantage. You've got this.
Okay, so the clues are... a brand... So, based on the Okay, so we need 4 evidence from each area. There's a tree. The first clue. Footprints. Oh yeah, halfway through. But next clue's the boat. A lamp? Then the final clue is... Okay, so here are the clues so far.
This must be it! The secret base where they stash their goods! Definitely wasn't easy to find.
Well, well. Looks like you tracked it down in no time at all. I see your potential as a solo field agent, Traveler. Now, time to test out the key we found earlier. Let's see what surprises could be in store. This isn't their home turf, so I doubt they had time to set more traps. Should make our lives easier. I'll take it from here. The last thing we want is to leave traces behind in there. Caution is the name of the game. You two keep a lookout. Make sure no one barges in while I'm in there.
You got it! This is a first for us, but the Traveler can do anything. She's got your back!
I doubt these guys will come back while we're here.
Good point. Yelan doesn't make mistakes like that.
Yelan opens the door to the stronghold and observes the space. It appears to be an ordinary cellar. Due to the construction difficulties, the top and side walls couldn't be completely sealed, causing the water from the soil to seep through into the space. Noticing this, Yelan covers her hand in the thin sheen of hydro. This means she can touch the items in this space without leaving traces behind. Because of the water, her hands will vaporize over time. Finally, Yelan enters the stronghold and begins to examine the items sealed within.
Alright, that's done. I've noted the features of all the porcelain items, vases, and teas stored here. We need to keep a lookout for these features at the auction and pinpoint the person attempting to purchase the corresponding goods. Then, we can let them lead us to our main target.
Wow, that was fast! You must do that all the time, huh?
What's our next move?
Now, we wait. There are countless auctions in Fontaine. We can't possibly monitor them all. Besides, that would be a waste of personnel. I'll continue to conduct surveillance in the area, keep tabs on the situation, and attempt to decipher their coded messages. Once its two lackeys move the goods, we can shift our focus to the upcoming auction. And then, we'll have somewhere to start.
Got it! All we can do now is wait. Wait, and then follow them straight to the guy behind this whole thing so we can give him the old 1-2 punch!
This whole time, Officer Edler has been leading her two stalkers on a wild goose chase around Chaoying village. Once they decide it was all a waste of time, it's her turn to tail them instead. Not to mention our operation has already put them under extreme pressure. We've forced their hand. I doubt they'll last more than 2 days before making a move. So let's meet back up at Yelan Wharf in 2 days. Find me near the harbor.
Okay, everyone, that's part 1 and 2. Ooh. We only have a few more down to go. So I'll be, well, playing through this. So listen everyone, I'll be wrapping up this video for now. Listen, all of you, be sure all to like
Parties
this.
are a must for the well-man.
As I was saying, hope you all enjoyed the video. Be sure all to like and subscribe and the notification bell if you want to see more Genshin Impact videos, Honkai Star Rail, and Wizarding Waves, and much more. Bye!